Hello guys, welcome to Small Samuel Maths Tutorials. So today we are going to continue from letter B to D. So if you didn't see the first video whereby we talked about how to prove how to apply Dr. Keep Down and also how to prove acyclic quadrilaterals, whereby we also we used these examples, this diagram here. So firstly go to check that video before you can watch this one, because you're going to get confused a lot, right? So please go to watch the first video and don't forget to subscribe and like, guys. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to prove isosceles triangle and the similarity and also the product, right? So for B, okay, prove with reasons that our triangle WRV is isosceles triangle, right? Okay, what do we know about the isosceles triangle? That is the first question that has to come to your mind whenever they say that prove that WRV is an isosceles triangle. Can you guys see WRV? The properties of isosceles triangle, we know that the two equal sides are equal and the two angles are equal, right? So meaning WR is equals to RV or VW is equals to WR. We don't know, right? So meaning we either going to prove the sides or what, the angles, meaning it's either angle R is equals to angle W1 or angle V1, right? So because now we don't have the side, we are going to use what to prove the isosceles triangle. We are going to use the angles, right? So meaning we need to find angle R, angle W1 and angle V1. Therefore we are going to check which angles are equal. Therefore if there are any angles which are equal inside that triangle, then we can conclude that this is an isosceles triangle because this and this angle are equal, right? So what is angle R? That is the first question. We know that angle R is equals to X. We wrote it here, it's given. The reason you can say here as given or proven, man. Proven. What about V1? What do we know about V1? Oh, here it is, guys. Can you see that our V1 is equals to W2, right? V1 is equals to W2, right? And we know that W2 is equals to what? Is equals to WMLS2, which are both equals to X. Remember, like I said, guys, remember from our question A, we proved that WSTV is a cyclic quadrant. So I forgot to mention this. So you are allowed now to use the properties of cyclic quad from WSTV, because you did prove it that it's a cyclic quad. Let's say even though you didn't approve it, but then use those properties after the second question. After proving that is a cyclic quad, use those properties of cyclic quad, right? So from the properties of cyclic quad, we know that angle S2 is equals to angle W2. The reason is we can see that it's a butterfly, angles in the same segment, angles in the same segment, right? So guys, meaning now we know that, okay, whenever we are given that prove that WSTV is a cyclic quad, from the second question I'm going to use that properties of what, of a cyclic quad. Now because I know that this is a cyclic quad, so after writing this one, oh, we can see that V1 is equals to V1, here it is, guys. V1 is equals to W is equals to angle S2. V1 is equals to angle S2, they're both equals to X, right? Because W2 is equals to W2, right? So now, therefore, meaning our V1, because now we know that our V1 is equals to X and our R is equals to X. So therefore now means we can conclude that therefore angle triangle WRE is an isosceles triangle. The reason is V1 is equals to angle R. They are both equals to X. Can you guys see? They are both equals to X. So therefore you can conclude. Therefore this is how you prove isosceles triangle. So meaning you're going to check the either two angles from that triangle to be equal. Then after equating them, you can conclude that this is an isosceles triangle because the two opposite angles of a triangle are what? Are equal, right? So therefore now we come to what? To C. C, we talked about it. So we talked about this one, guys. Remember, there is a video whereby I uploaded whereby we talk about the similarity. So if you get lost here, please go through that video to watch it. Is there. So we know that whenever we prove similarity, guys, I gave you the method. We do what already were given that prove that triangle WRV is similar to triangle TSV, right? So the first thing I said, we write that triangle, we name those angles RV and triangle TSV. Then after I said what? Remember that I said this angle, this represent an 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 angle, and this represent an angle also. So and then W is equals to T, R is equals to S, V is equals to V. So we're going to say W R V, right? That's what we write. Therefore, for W, it's the first letter from the first triangle. The first letter from the first triangle from this is what is T. Therefore, we equate it with what? With T. We'll write the reason out. R is the second letter here. Then from the second triangle, what is the second letter there? It's S. Therefore, we write it here to the corresponding. So the last one is V and V, right? Therefore, now we're only left with writing what? The reason. So W, now you check, okay, WT, W is equals to T. Double L, remember it's not double only, guys. You check, okay, W R V, right? Means it's W1, right? Don't forget to write this. What about T? Let's see, T is T S V, meaning with the whole of T, it's fine. What about R, all of R S K? It's TSV with S2 only, S2. And V, let's see, V, guys, it's V1 here, right? And for TSV, TSV, it's V3, meaning it's V1 and V3. So W angle 1 is equals to angle T. And this one is complicated. Let's leave it. Then we go to the second one. Angle R is equals to angle S2. Yes, yeah, we do have it. The both equals to what? Both equals to X, which is what is the tan coordinate. Then you write tan chord. Then V1 is equals to angle V3. Yes, guys, can you see V1? We know that V1 is equals to what? Let's check the data that we wrote. Okay, we don't have V1, right? Okay, but then check. Oh yeah, here it is. V1 is equals to X, right? And V3 also is equals to X, so meaning that both equals to X. You see how simple it is? So therefore, like I said, therefore this one is going to be the third angle of a triangle. Therefore that's it. Then you're going to arrange them in order. This one, which is W1 is equals to T, it has to be at the end, right? Then that's it. Therefore we're going to conclude that therefore triangle WRV is similar to triangle TSV. The reason is we proved what? Angle. So if you don't understand or you are lost somewhere, go to watch that video, the full video about the similarities, how do we prove the similarities, right? So now we go to the last one, which I love this one. I love this one a lot. So guys, I'm going to erase some of the things here that we wrote. You can just post the video if you want to copyright these things. So now I'm just going to erase most of the same things that we can have a space, guys. Okay guys, let's talk about the product. How to prove the product. I love this one a lot, guys. Yo, I know, like, they always repeat this kind of questions, guys. They know that the teachers, some of the teachers, they don't know how to explain this thing. Like, they don't even explain it. So that's why the examiner always bring it back. So after addressing the examiner today, I do believe that it will no longer like bring something like this. We are addressing him today. So guys, for the product, prove that TS multiplied by W is equals to WV multiplied by TS. Okay, this thing, guys, it comes from something like this. From the proportionality, guys. It's grade 12, this one. AB multiplied by, let's say, 8 over 80 is equals to ED all over CB. Right. So this thing which is here, it's similar with this. What they did, they crossed multiply. So now we have, if we multiply, cross multiply, we have AD multiplied by AD, which is equals to AB multiplied by CB. Do you guys see it? It's the same thing, eh? Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. So now we're requested to prove this. So listen, most of the time, there is a there are three ways of proving this kind of the product, right? If you can subscribe, guys, give me that energy. Subscribe and like, give me that energy to reveal all the secrets. Right, so now I'm just going to only explain this one. Right, if, listen, this question of the product, right, whenever you are asked, but the above question was prove that the certain triangle is similar to a certain triangle. It's a miscalled. Let me repeat it. If the above question is prove that the two triangles are similar, right? And the following question, it requests you to prove like TS multiplied by WR is equals to WV multiplied by TS. What you are going to do, you are going to use the triangle those you proved, meaning you're going to use those two triangles that you proved. You're going to say a triangle WRV and triangle TSV, right? After writing them like this, listen guys, after writing them like this, we are going to do something like the proportionality. You know them like, okay, WR all over TS, RV all over what part. We're going to do that. So now we're going to start with you check the first you see before equals to we have TS multiplied by WR, right? So and from the first triangle we have what WR, therefore you write it down WR all over. Remember WR is what? Is the first letter and the second letter from the first triangle. So we are going to take the first letter and the second letter from what? The second triangle, which is what? TS. So therefore TS is going to be here. Is equals to, is the proportionality, guys. Therefore we go to what? We did our WR. Now let's do RV. RV all over is the second letter and the third letter of the first triangle, meaning from the second letter we're going to take what? The second letter and the third letter, which is S, P. And lastly is what? It's WV, which is the first letter and the last letter. And here is going to be T and what? And V, right? I know some will say, Sars, I started with TS all over WR. It's fine, guys, as long as you can follow your steps. If let's say you started with TS, obviously it has to be WR, and then here it has to be SV over RV, and then here it's going to be TV all over UV, right? So it's fine. So now, after writing them like this, you're going to check from what they said you need to prove. They said you have to prove that TS multiplied by W is equals to WV multiplied by TS. So meaning whatever that you're going to choose, remember we need to choose two. It's either we choose this WR all over TS and RV all over SV, or WV all over TV and RV all over SV. But then we're going to choose them by checking, okay, what do we have? Okay, from the first one, we have W and TS. From what we are requested to prove, do we have W, R, and TS? Yes, we do. So meaning this one, we're going to take it. You can just take it like this. We come to the second one, RV and SV. Do we have RV and SV? No, we don't have RV and SV. So meaning this one, just cancel it out. Cancel, cancel. Then we go to the last one. WV and TV. Do you have WV and TV? We have only WV, we don't have TV. So okay, but at least I have something. I'm taking it. So therefore now we're going to take WR all over TS, whereby is equals to WV all over TV. Right. So this kind of a question, guys, whenever if the first question was to determine the similarity, know that whenever you arrive here, the values that you're going to choose, like we chose here, it's either the numerator or the denominator. One of them is going to be out of order, like it is not going to be there. It's guys English, like Like you see that from this whatever that we are requested to prove, we don't have TV, you see, but then we have WV. So yeah, that is the case, guys, just to confuse you. So take it. After taking it, you do what? Cross multiply. Now we cross multiply with TS multiply by WV. Okay, let's say multiply, and we have TV multiply by WR. Then we go to check again. Okay, is that thing that I requested to prove similar to what I wrote? TS and WV. Oh, here it is. We have it. What about TV and WR? But we don't have TV, right? So how am I going to replace this TV? Then let's say you go to your statement, meaning you are going to 10.2 now to read. You'll find that always you are going to find that this TV is equals to um something which is here. Let's say obviously here we see that what we need what TS. So you'll find that this TV is equals to TS. And if you can check from the data that we wrote, here it is. We said TV is equals to TS. And what was the reason? Are the tangents drawn from the same point? So meaning now we're going to replace what TV with what TS. Now we can see that okay, TV is equals to TS. Tangents drawn from the same point. So therefore we have TS W V is equals to TS W R. Right. Then that's it. That's how you solve it. You are done. This is how this question is asked. So if you are given, let me just share a recap now. If you are requested to solve this kind of equation, which is the product to prove it, and the above question was determine or prove the similarity of the certain triangles, you are going to use those triangles, those two triangles, right? And after, when you arrive here, you're going to see that none, but there's this side which is not relevant to what I'm looking for. But then, let's say the upper side, okay, you have it, but then the lower part, you don't have it. You take it. That is the keys, just to confuse you. You're going to take it and write it down. At the end, you'll see that none, man, that relevance irrelevant site is going to be relevant by what? You're going to check whether it's equals to what. You find that is equals to what you're looking for. Then you're going to write it down and replace it. That's it. This is the first method whenever you're given the similarity triangle. The other two whereby you're not given the similarity triangles to prove the similarity triangle. So you need to find by yourself those triangles, right? So kindly subscribe, guys, and like, comment if you have any question, so that if, guys, let's say I'm going to upload those two videos about the product, the two methods which are left about the product, only if we can reach at least 200 subscribers, guys, and the likes, guys, at least DJ, at least. So thank you.